Hi, this is Katie, and thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast. And today I wanted to talk about our sense of spirituality. This can come in many different forms, and it's about that connection that you have with something outside of yourself or something inside of yourself, or both. This is taking a deeper look at your life and looking at what are the hidden meanings of everything and what are the values that you have or regular meanings that you have. And we can believe in a higher power, something that is separate from us, that is guiding us through life, whether it is religion or just the universe, or it can be like reaching inside yourself and saying, this is how I depend on myself, and this is how I form my own values, and how we are going about our day to day. And is it about morality, or is it about your intrinsic values of what you find really important in life and how you're respecting others? So we can look for patterns that we're seeing. Sorry, please excuse any noises in the background. My family's taking care of some Sunday things. Could it be that we see these patterns, whether in nature or with others, or on subjects that we can go deeper about? So a lot of times we will do kind of dig into our spirituality through setting a certain time of day. Maybe it's waking up and reading certain passages, or journaling, or connecting with nature, going on that walk, seeing how you can look at things with gratitude. Although for me, I have struggled with let me be grateful for all these things. I am, I do at the end of the day, look back at my day and think oh wow, this happened and this happened and this happened. That I am so grateful that I experienced those things for the day. But I tend to be a little leery on using the word gratitude, because sometimes to me it feels like I am owing somebody something. I should have gratitude for something, and it can be a little too much for me. I don't feel like that's a good power balance. But for me, I can look at what my circumstances are in life, or what I experienced that day, and how I feel in my body, and how lucky I am to experience those things, but also look at my own privileges in that, and think about how I won the gumball lottery. I don't know if you've ever heard of the gumball falling from the sky and you were born in this body kind of a thing. That's just something that popped in my head. I don't really say it that often, but I'm just saying the luck that you had to be born in this body is just that. It's luck. And you can, and as you grow up and learn from your family and other friends about what spirituality means to you, you can also look at what kind of circumstances are around you as well. And we can see our privileges, and we can see our, struggles that we have as well. It's when we start comparing all of those to others, when we're saying well, I wish I had what they had. And I'm not talking about basic rights. I'm not talking about human rights or, LGBTQIA rights or anything, marriage rights, civil rights, on and on and on. Those are rights that we should all inherently have. But I'm talking about if you're constantly comparing yourself to others, you don't get to see how much you have in your life. I tend to stay away from the word abundance. I think we can be grateful for all of the things that we have. And I'm not talking just material things, just all the opportunities that we have in life without, going on just always thinking that abundance is something that is money driven or thing driven or anything along those lines. I think we can have an abundance of connection to other people. I think we can have abundance of connecting to ourselves and creating values in our life and how we live. So I guess I don't say stay away from abundance, but I'm saying like kind of stay away from like, well, I really wish I had a certain salary coming in at this point, or like if there is a sign from above, then you're going to make this certain product come into my life. Like that's taking it too far. And I think almost everyone who listens to this podcast is very similar on that. It's about having intentions that line up with your values, like, and taking a look at like defining what those values are. There are some people who are like, I don't know what my values are, or they have a very vague notion of that. But when it comes down to like when we are fighting for these civil liberties and civil rights that we need to have for everyone, we usually start falling in line with, well, my values are on this side because I believe everyone should have access to that, to have this in their lives, to live more freely. And so when you look at like your values, that can also determine where you're spending your energy for how you're volunteering time. A lot of times, society wants you to spend too much time on other things to distract you from taking a stand in political issues. So it can be that, my values, my sense of spirituality, if I am more centered in those, I can actually give myself more towards causes than to be distracted by how I'm conducting my day-to-day things. Like it's negatively when you are focused on the mundane things that actually don't matter as much. How do we let those go? How do we subtract those from our lives to really focus on what is more important? If you are an animal lover and you want to dedicate your time towards causes for animals, how do you do that? How do you carve space in your life because of those values, so that you can intrinsically like feel this deeper connection to the cause that you want to, and not be as distracted by other things? Do we ask for help so that we can pour more of our energy into that, and not going overboard as well? You, one single person, are not going to fix that whole situation. And it may be that certain cause or situation will never go away in our lifetimes, but we can inch it forward. We can still make things happen. So this kind of has gone into like how we can benefit society as well. How can we give back to society? But I think that's a big part of spirituality, that we have this interconnection to ourselves, that we're reflecting on what really means the most, that we're kind of digesting how our day-to-day is going. And if you're finding that you just don't have that time, is there something, and it's possible you may not be able to, but is there this time that you can take for yourself to recenter, to reground yourself, to connect to what matters to you, so that you can still live by your values and pour your energy into what matters most? It could also be like, what kind of symbols do you have in your life that connect you to your spirituality? Is there art pieces? Are there journals? Are there reminders in your life that really connect you to your spirituality? Is it the moon cycles? Are you going out and actually watching the moon, or at least noting them and feeling them and journaling about them? Or is it something where you have any kind of religious art on the walls that really deeply connect to how you feel and how you were raised, or anything like that? Like, what kind of symbols do you have in your space to carry you through every day and have those as constant reminders of what your values are? So how do you connect to your spirituality? Do you connect to others? Do you receive like lots of energy when other people in the room are kind of on the same wavelength and they're practicing their spirituality in a similar way? Is it through yoga? Is it through gatherings, moon gatherings? Is it through church? Is it through just community gatherings and putting energy into those things that uplift you? What does it look like for you? Like, consider that. And is it really not as an important part of your day-to-day? Maybe it's something that can be foundational that isn't as big that other people feel. Like, there's others who are like very active in their churches and they are going multiple times a week. That may not be for you, and that's okay. That can be something that you go, my values are that I do this very minimally, and that's enough for me. And that's the whole thing, is just saying that's enough for you, because that gives you the foundation to move forward every day. Let me know what you experience, and you're welcome to email me or DM me on any social media. So until next time, thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast.